Thanks everyone for joining me. As you know, I'm Jessica Galison, and I am joined today with Gunnar Stone from Movement Mortgage. You may know that I love Movement Mortgage. Gunnar is my Jacksonville Movement Mortgage go-to guy. Tell me a little bit about Movement Mortgage real quick, Gunnar. I'm so obsessed with the backpacks and the school. Can you talk about it for just a minute?
Yeah, it's really a cool concept. I came over to Movement not knowing companies in the mortgage world existed in this fashion, and come to find out that Movement Mortgage is a faith-based organization where 49 cents of every profit dollar goes to the Movement Foundation. So when you all have some time, I'd encourage you Google the Movement Foundation. Super cool stuff. In short, they like to their main thing of the many things that they do is they build schools in underserved areas. The most recent one just went up in Atlanta, and when I say schools, I mean like they look like nice private schools. They're impressive. So super cool to work for a company that's able to kind of give back in that fashion in a world where companies like ours, or in the same industry at least, do not do anything like that. It's all kind of about filling the pockets of the people upstairs. So it's a cool concept.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I love working with Movement because there's more to it, and there's that giving back piece that's super important for me as well. The reason that Gunnar is joining me today is there's a really incredible program that's being rolled out on Monday, the 18th of August, correct, Gunnar?
That's correct.
The date. Monday, the 18th of August. It's called Hometown Heroes. I could tell you about it, but Gunnar's the expert, and I like to have the experts talk about the things that are out there and amazing. So Gunnar, tell us a little bit about Hometown Heroes, just high level, most important bullet points, and then I'll ask some questions and we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, so Hometown Heroes, in short, is been available. They bring it back every year, but each year certain things change. So whatever you may have heard about it may not be the exact same for this year because they change a little bit. But for the most part, it is a down payment assistance program for Hometown Heroes, and we can talk about the classifications of that momentarily, or you can get with me later and talk about it. But it is that down payment assistance. So it is money for a first-time home buyer to help you with down payment and closing cost assistance.
That's awesome. So there are a lot of requirements that go into it, but what I love about this program is it's helping to serve police officers, nurses, school teachers. Is school teachers on the list this year?
School teachers, yep. School
teachers. I mean, it's such a, if someone hasn't told you that, and you're a teacher, that you're a hero, I'm going to tell you right now, because when I meet a teacher, I am constantly saying thank you for your service. And I know I live in a military town and I might offend people by saying that, but I am not built for teaching kids. So thank you to all the teachers out there for giving of yourselves for our future.
We were literally just talking about how thankful we were that kids are back in school.
Yes, I had gifts for all the teachers that meet the teacher. I printed out a little school calendar and put it on a magnet for them. And they were like, this is awesome. And every meet the teacher, I'm like, you tell me what you need. I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
My kids go to public school, so wherever I can support those public school teachers, I am so happy to do it. Anyways, I know Gunnar's got a little bit more information he can share with us about Hometown Hero. If you want to go ahead and share your screen, let's get into it a little bit.
Sure. So what we'll do here, give me one sec. We're going to talk about some qualifications, super high level qualifications. It's going to be super fast. And then we're going to talk about some of the requirements for the classifications, because it goes much further than teachers, active duty military. So we'll kind of scroll through that quickly just to make sure that everybody's kind of on the same page with that. Let's see here. So, okay, so you guys should see that screen now, right?
Yep. And
then now it should have this screen here.
Yep.
Okay, so these are the classifications of eligible occupations, right? So there's nursing, and it dives down very deep. You have to be specifically listed on here as one of these things, okay? Medical technicians, medical therapists, mental health workers, doctors, physicians, pharmacists, Other healthcare workers such as dental hygienist, dental assistant, school staff members, including teachers. Okay, so teacher's aide, social worker, assistant principal, classroom teacher, food services inside of that. Look at that, cafeteria staff.
Even the cafeteria staff, I love it.
First responders, firefighters, certified paramedic, policemen, 911, safety communicator. So if you ever called 911, the person that you talk to there. Court employees, childcare workers, and then service members, active duty service members, of course, are eligible. This was kind of designed around them, and then they made it more involved to really kind of embrace the full hometown hero mantra there. So those are all the eligible occupations. You do specifically have to be on that list. I know I scrolled through it really quick, so Jessica has my contact information. Don't hesitate to reach out, and I can let you know if you're on that list or not. But in a nutshell, kind of this is the flyer here. So feel free to take screenshots or whatever you want to do for this page. It's a maximum of $35,000, but the way the program works, it is 5% of the loan amount to use towards down payment and closing cost assistance. So super easy. If you're buying a $300,000 house and you're putting 5% down to be a 95% loan to value, right? So your loan amount's $285. You multiply that by 0.5. So your assistance amount is $14,250. Okay, that goes on as a second loan, interest-free from the state of Florida. So it's interest deferred. You don't owe that money back until you sell the home, repay the note, or pay the note off 30 years from now. So if you were to refinance, for example, that money would become due in full. If you pay the home off, okay, or if you sell it. So those are the three. And in the non-lender terms, those are the three things that would require that money to be due back in full. But again, it's interest-free, so it'll be $14,000 now. It'll be $14,000 30 years from now if you live in the home forever. So minimum credit score 640 is the kind of the entry level there. There are income limits. I'm not going to get into those today because they are pretty high, and it differs per county. So just get with me if you're interested in that. I can walk you through the income limits. But like for example, if you're a medical assistant making $100,000 a year, whatever it might be, like you qualify. Like they're pretty high income limits. So that's kind of the ins and outs of it without getting too much into the weeds of the program. But super easy. We do a ton of these, and it's very, very helpful.
I understand that Hometown Heroes money runs out kind of quick. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It does, yeah. So I mentioned earlier that they bring it back every year, and they bring it back because it's such a good program. The Florida government wants to make sure they're doing everything they can to bring this program back, because we're trying to keep investors, aka big corporations, out of Florida, and make home ownership available for our local Floridians. And that's possible through this program, but this program is so good that it does run out pretty quickly. Your typical down payment assistance programs offer anywhere from $7,500 to $10,000 in assistance. The income limits are lower, the interest rates are higher on those programs. So this is for it to have more money, higher income limits, and lower interest rates than all the other programs. It's pretty second to none. So yeah, it does run out very quick. Last year it ran out in about 6 months. Year before that it ran out in 2 months. So just kind of supply meets demand on where the current market's at, but I don't expect it to last too long.
Perfect. With that being said, so if I wanted to buy a $600,000 house, is there a limit on the purchase price? Yes.
So depends on county, but for example, Duval is sitting at $602,915,000. If you're in a target area, which is typically kind of an underserved area, it's a little bit hhigher than that. It goes up to $736,800. So they're pretty good. It's one of those things that I think you would run in. I just don't think you're going to hit a wall there, most likely. I think it would be more so from the person who's making that kind of money, qualifying on it. You're probably going to make more income. Is going to be more likely an issue for you than running into purchase price issues.
Understood.
There are levels.
And then the other piece that I think is really important, and you did mention it, but I want to talk about it again, is this is not free money. This is a loan. It is a zero interest loan. Are there payments going towards the loan at all time, or it's paid back at the end?
It's paid back at the end. Yeah.
Perfect.
It's paid back at the end, or if you sell the home, like for example, if you're planning on moving here and not living in this house for a year and then selling it, it's probably in the best program, because you're not gonna have enough time to get enough additional equity to pay this off plus closing costs and things when you sell. This is more of a, I'd say 5 to 7 year plan. If you're going to be in that house for that long, that's a more ideal range. By then you will have at least, accumulated enough equity, because when you sell the home, you need to be able to pay your realtor, your seller closing costs, whatever that might be, the current loan that you owe, plus this loan. Those are the things that you need to be thinking about. And we'll of course have those conversations when we go to pre-approve you for this to make sure it's a good fit.
Perfect. And also, if you refinance the home, so if I'm at a 6.5% interest rate and interest rates drop down to 5.5%, and I refinance, I will have to pay back that money on the refinance.
Correct. Equity is an important piece of this, though. So if, like, for example, if interest rates drop to 5.5%, 2 to 3 years from now, right? I hope it's sooner than that. But let's just say that's a timeline. You may have enough equity to roll the home, or to roll the because you took both loans out at the same time. So technically, right, it could be one refinance. You may not have to stroke a check for, in the example earlier, $14,000 in order to be eligible to refinance. It's just kind of timeline wise when you plan on doing it. You can roll the proceeds into a refinance, but at the end of the day, you may not, depending on how much equity you have.
So realistically, this program is amazing for people who have pretty good credit and are really, really wanting to buy a house, but have a little bit of trouble in the saving department to get enough cash to pay for those closing costs and down payments upfront.
Correct. And you'd be more researched in this area than I would. With $14,000, that's going to definitely cover a 3% down payment plus some closing costs. And depending on your purchase price, we're in a market right now where you could potentially get seller credits to cover the rest.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of looking at a zero money out of your pocket option for the right person, for the right house, of course.
So I wanted to talk about Hometown Heroes today because it is Friday the 15th, and this program does go live on the 18th. If you know that you want to buy a house, and if you know that you think that this is a market for you, I personally think if you're shopping in the 450s or under, this is a market for you, especially with Hometown Heroes, giving you that little nudge that you just need to get over the hump. Hometown Heroes is an amazing program for that. If you are thinking about purchasing a house and you want to know more information, I'm going to leave all of Gunnar's info in the comments below. I would love for you to reach out to Gunnar sooner than later, because again, this program does run out. Money is available starting on Monday. If you think that this could be right for you, even jumping on Gunnar's website this weekend and just getting the process rolling, you could be looking at a really nice assistance program here. And me and Gunnar helping you through the process, you can't get any better. Working with a team that knows what they're doing, working with someone like Gunnar who knows the area and is a Jacksonville resident and loves living here. I think that the two of us could really make a great team in making sure that you accomplish your goals.
Jessica, I want to add one more thing before we get off. Even if you're hearing this and you're like, oh man, I've got 6 months left on my lease, still call us. Most people who are looking for this program are in leases right now, and there are ways that we can kind of go about structuring it from an offer standpoint to where maybe there's an option to buy your lease out or do things like that from a seller credit perspective. So just don't let that stop you from making a phone call.
Since you mentioned first-time home buyers, can you tell us what qualifies as a first-time home buyer with this program?
You cannot have been on the deed to a house in the past 3 years. Okay.
So technically not a first-time home buyer, just someone who hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years. So if you've gone through a divorce and you sold your home, or you have been taken off the deed, if you are trying to save and are truly buying your first home, or if you had, some things happen and you needed to move out and rent for a while, and now you're ready to get back to owning a home, this program is amazing. I love it so much. I think that it's wonderful for getting you on that first step to building wealth for yourself. Owning a home is creating wealth and building for your future. So if you are interested, please reach out to me. Please reach out to Gunnar. We would love to help you. Anything else you have for me, Gunnar?
That's it. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Gunnar, you got to show everybody your view before we leave.
Well, there you go. Right there.
What
Oh,
could be
great.
better?
I don't know how to make it straight with the angles here, but yeah, that's our view right here, local in Jax. So give us a call. We'd love to work with you and get you in this program or just work with you in general.
Absolutely. Whatever you've got going on in your finances, Gunnar and I can absolutely help you. We would love to. And just shoot us a call or send a message. Send a homing pigeon if you want. Have a wonderful weekend, Gunnar. It was nice to see you.
All as well. Bye-bye.
Bye.